Mr. Yola, in that group, in that area of town, some people will say, well, look, because you were there, because the police didn't necessarily say you could not protest, but rather protest in a different place. If the movement is simply about a peaceful demonstration concerning the rights of Sheikh Zakzaki, could you not have made the same statement in a more orderly fashion at the parade ground as the police had initially asked? Wouldn't that have, kind of doused the tension that resulted from your inability to acquiesce to that command?
As I have said earlier, when they dispersed us on Friday, we do not sit on Saturday, we do not sit on Sunday. So the youth on Monday, in fact, I was at the FCT Police Command. On the invitation, Deji called me that the CP wanted to see us. I was at the CP's office with Deji around 11. In fact, we were in the office when I heard the siren. Then I said, maybe something is happening. The youths went to the National Human Rights Commission in order to give a presentation to express the infringement of our rights. It was there the police went and met them at the Human Rights Commission, which is unbecoming. Why? What is the purpose of establishing the National Human Rights Commission? Why did the Nigerian government establish it? It is for citizens to go and present their complaints. Since inception, 2015, on December 15 or 12th, when the clampdown by the Nigerian army on the Sheikh Zakzaki and his disciples in Zaria, that very Monday, when the Sheikh was shot in his house, the Chief of Army Staff went and presented a complaint to the National Human Rights. Immediately they swung into action. They made a statement, they invited for memorandum, we presented our memorandums, and we again make a counter presentation before the National Human Rights. And we have been following up these petitions on and on from time without numbers.
At this juncture, I'm going to bring in our Lagos crew who have some questions for our panelists. Chamberlain?
Well, yes, let me ask the Commissioner. I'm not sure your response, we didn't get much of it when Mr. Yola said that you were actually laughing when they were tear gassed. What we heard you respond was you're not sure you saw him. So if you go speak to that directly, whether you saw him or not at the venue at the time, were you actually laughing as he says you were laughing when they were tear gassed?
The issue is I wasn't there. I wasn't there. It was after the incident that my officer told me this is what happened, and then I came down myself. That was my account that I gave. I wasn't there.
Okay, then he also paints this and gives it the impression that, okay, let me ask Mr. Yola to corroborate that. Now, if he says he wasn't there, how did you come to the conclusion that he was laughing?
When the team made Deji and Dr. Gamawa, was it after they have tear gassed us or before they tear gassed us? Because now he said that he came after the incident. While in reality he was there. He came, there was a one-star general that came there and they talked with him. It was after talking with the one-star general, then they started tear gassing us, and he was saying that he is not there.
Did you see him there?
Yes, I saw him.
Okay, Commissioner, let me also take you up on some of the other things we heard him say is that it looks as though that there's a deliberate attempt to hound them and prevent them from protesting, of which you say they have a right. Is that correct?
Yeah, I told you initially we cooperated with them. In fact, we give them security cover as they even march in many parts of the FCT, which I'm quite sure he can testify to that. And even while they are at the Unity Fountain, they interacted with our officers severally. They know that. I told you all these issues began to change in the last 1 or 2 weeks when they changed tactics. They started to become very confrontational, threatening violence, disturbing the peace of the city. That is why we have to change tactics as well.
So does that changing tactics mean preventing them from protesting, or what?
Yes, we have to take proactive measures because we know that these days, when they sit down to meet, actually they are planning on how to disturb the peace of the city. And it is the duty of the police to ensure that we do not allow such things to happen. So we have to do whatever it is necessary legally to ensure that that does not happen.
Do we assume that you got that information by your men who are within them?
About the threat to peace?
Yes, the information that when they state or they gather, they're planning how to disrupt the peace.
Exactly, it's something that we have the footages, and I also witnessed it on some occasions. There was this one they had, I think, was it on a Thursday? They blocked the road by Federal Ministry of Justice. I had to come down myself. The youths were singing, they were dancing, they were preventing vehicles from moving freely. They blocked one side of the road, and they were singing, they were chanting, they were insulting people. So I was there myself, and I knew that that is it. That is not allowed.
Okay. Speaking about blocking the road and disturbing the peace, you just admitted now that you didn't know. It took you by surprise. It took the police command in FCT by surprise that the Tijanians actually blocked the road. And we had a lot of people who complained that they couldn't move, they couldn't find security personnel or men in uniform to help control traffic. How come you always know when the Shiites are sitting or planning or meeting, and this one missed you, or you missed this?
No, well, that one, what we might have missed there is maybe the number of the men or the people that will be coming. That is it. But that we don't have any feeling there is going to be any threat to public peace. They have assured us with that. Yes, they shut down the city. Yes, they littered the city. But there was no threat to public peace at all. But these other people, the Islamic movement of Nigeria, they've changed tactics, and they are threatening the peace of the city. That is why we have to take proactive measures to prevent that.
Okay, let's go to break. We'll come back and get some response from Mr. Yola in just a moment. Don't go away.